Hey guys, welcome back to Doing It DIY. If you're new here, I hope that you'll subscribe so that we can DIY together. Today I have 3 cozy, neutral winter Dollar Tree DIYs to help you transition from the holidays to winter decor. If you want to see how I did them, just keep watching. Now, all of the products that you're going to need are listed below, but you can also see them on the screen. I'm just going to use a piece of scrap wood for this adorable sign. You can also use one of the Dollar Tree signs. That will work perfectly, like I'm showing you now. And we're going to start by taking some Apple Barrel Jet Black paint and some Apple Barrel Brown Oxide paint and a little bit of water, and we're going to make a homemade stain. This is my preferred method for staining wood. You can use your favorite stain, your favorite brand of stain. You can use your favorite paint colors to make your own. I just like the consistency. I like how quickly it dries. I like how easy it is to work with. That's the reason I choose to do this. You can use whatever you like. This is just what I prefer. And these colors are my favorite. They make a pretty chocolate brown color. And I'm just going to take that paint, that faux stain, and a brush, and I'm just going to start wiping it all over my scrap piece of wood. And you'll see this is done. So I'm going to take the paper towel and wipe off the excess and let that dry. This is a little hack that I love. I take one of these Tupperware containers and take my faux stain and make sure it has a really good locking lid, and that'll last for a long time. I've been using the same one for a while. Now I'm just going to cut out the letters S, N, and W to form snow. I'm going to do a faux graphite method, turn the image over, cover the back with pencil markings. This will help if you don't have a Cricut or you don't have graphite paper, carbon paper, that's what I'm trying to say. And then we're just going to arrange the letters and tape them down onto the scrap piece of wood. Now you'll see that my spacing doesn't actually work out as well as I wanted it to, but that's okay. The sign came out cute. It works. And then once you tape the letters down, you're going to trace over them all. It's going to leave a faint mark on the wood. You can kind of see in person, you can see it a lot better, but that's what we're going to use to letter this board. If you have a Cricut machine, definitely cut out the letters in vinyl. That will work. If not, this is a great method. I'm just going to take an old pickle jar, an empty one of course, and use it to trace the snowman's head. And then I'm going to take some Apple Barrel Snow White paint. I'm going to trace each one of those letters and the snowman head. I'm going to fill them in, and this part will be done. This is some quick painting we got going on here. Just take your time. It's never perfect, at least when I do hand lettering, and that's okay. That kind of gives it a little bit of a charm. And since it's farmhouse decor, it doesn't have to be perfect. We're going to distress it a little bit anyway, so it doesn't have to be absolutely perfect. And you're just going to see I'm just now going in and filling in the white in the letters. Again, this doesn't have to be perfect because we're going to distress it. So that's what it looks like when we're done. You can see my spacing is totally off. It's okay. We're going to take some Apple Barrel orange, pumpkin orange, I think, and some more jet black. We're also going to take a little sanding sponge from the Dollar Tree and just rough up what we just did. Rough up the edges, rough up the letters themselves, give it a little bit of distressing, give it a little bit of character. You can do as much or as little as you want. And then you're going to go ahead and take a wet paper towel or a wet cloth and wipe off all the dust. And then we're just going to freehand a snowman nose, and we're going to do it like the snowman is looking up at the snow. The snowman nose, honestly, the carrot can be as wonky as you want. That's perfectly fine. And I'm using this pumpkin orange paint from Apple Barrel to trace that out and color it in. I will say this, the snow letters were done with 1 coat of Apple Barrel Snow White paint. This pumpkin orange took 4 or 5 coats to get it the opacity that I wanted. So you can use whatever paint you want, and usually Apple Barrel works really well for me. It's just this orange paint was a little bit of a pain. So if you have another kind, don't be afraid to use it. It might work a little bit better. But we're just going to trace that out, freehand it, color it in, no big deal. And then we're going to take our jet black and the end of a pencil, the eraser part, and we are going to make his little coal mouth. Super easy. The end of the pencil works perfectly, gives you a perfectly round shape. And this is what you should have so far. I love this. I think it turned out so cute. I'm just going to take a little bit of nautical rope from the Dollar Tree and make just a rough little bow and put at the top. In hindsight, I wish I hadn't done it. I wish I had done something different. But at the time, it seemed like a good thing to do. You can skip this step. You can add it if you like it. You can do something totally different. This is just what I chose to do. So we're going to put that little rope kind of off center at the top. And then we're going to go ahead and take these 3 snowflakes. These were in a pack of 10, I want to say, from the Dollar Tree. And they were just in my craft stash, so I decided to add them. And I'm just going to hot glue those at the bottom underneath the word snow. I'm going to do them kind of overlapping a little bit, just however you want to do it, whatever looks right to you is perfectly okay. You can also skip this step altogether if you don't like that. I thought it just gave it a little bit of extra something. And that's what it should look like when you're done with that. We're going to go back and take that Apple Barrel Jet Black paint, and we're going to outline the carrot nose. And I just did a thin line around the nose just to give it a little bit more dimension. And then I also took that black paint and kind of mimicked the lines on a carrot, kind of staggered all the way up on both sides of the nose, and that's what you get. And this sign is done. I hope you guys like it as much as I do. I think it's perfect to transition your holiday decor into winter decor. All right, this is my favorite of the 3 DIYs. I decided to take a Dollar Tree gift tag sign and upgrade it a little bit. So this is everything you need to make this craft, and it's going to be down below in the description box as well. We are using one of the smaller Dollar Tree gift tag signs from Christmas, and I'm just going to make it a little bit more substantial. So I'm going to trace that out on a piece of foam board and then cut it out with the X-Acto knife, and this is what you have. We're going to use a little piece of cardboard and make that hole just a little bit more decorative, and then we're going to take our tumbling tower blocks and attach them to the back of the sign like you see me doing. We are just going to make this thicker and more substantial. I think it looks a little bit more high-end that way. And then we're going to take some hot glue and we're going to attach that foam board that we cut out to the top. Easy peasy. And then this is what you have. I like it. And then we're going to take that wrapping paper roll. You can use anything you want for the sides, but we're just going to basically go around all the sides and trace them out and cut them out to attach them. I used a wrapping paper roll. In the end, it wrinkled a little bit. When I painted it, I would have either painted it first or used some poster board or cardboard or something more substantial to attach them. You'll see I just used some hot glue and attached that wrapping paper roll to the sides. Again, you can do this. It's just going to wrinkle a little bit, and I had to go back with some tacky glue and kind of hold that down. It was a little bit of a pain, but it was fine. That is what it looks like once all of the paper is attached to the sides. Then I'm just going to take some Apple Barrel Snow White paint. I'm going to paint the entire thing white. Again, if you use craft paper, it may be a lot easier if you cut the paper out to go on the sides, paint it, and then attach it. But we're just going to paint everything, top, back, sides, all of it in the white. And this is what you have. I mean, it looks cute. You can't tell that it's you know, I had trouble with it because I did that off camera. And then we're just going to give it a little bit of distressing. I'm going to use some Apple Barrel Chocolate Bar, some Apple Barrel Jet Black, also some Apple Barrel Elephant Gray. And we are just going to dry brush those colors one at a time all over to give it a little bit of a distressed look, you know, going hard on the edges and then just lightly through the center. And then we're going to do the sides and the back as well. I'm going to stop talking and let you watch. And I know in the video you can't really see the distressing all that well, but I promise you it's there. Now I'm just going to take a Hello Winter printable that I created. I have a Mac, so I created it in Pages. I'm going to have the fonts from defont.com listed below that I used, so you can do the same ones or you can use your own. It doesn't matter. We're going to use the faux carbon paper method where we just turn the image over, cover it with pencil marks, and that's as hard as it is. And then we're just going to take a little piece of tape and position the words and tape them on to the tag. And then we're just going to trace them. I like to use this method. I don't have a Cricut. My husband did not come through for Christmas. I'm very sad about that, but it'll happen. So I use this method. It's actually easy. I promise you it's easy. It's probably not as easy as cutting it out on a Cricut and just slapping it on there. And I don't always love the way that hand lettering turns out, but it's something satisfying about hand lettering. And you can see that I don't know if you can see, but I promise you it's there. It's very, very, very noticeable in person. And I love the hello in the printable. In the end, I didn't like how it turned out. So you can use the lettering I used if you like it, or you can just go to defont.com, type out whatever words you want to put on there, and change the font. But we're going to do the exact same thing for hello. All right, and once you have those on, you can kind of see it a little bit there. We're going to just use that apple barrel jet black paint. And I use apple barrel a lot because in my store that would carry Waverly, which is Walmart, we just got a Hobby Lobby. It's supposed to open within a week. I'm so excited. They're always out of all of the Waverly paints, and I am not able to get them. So apple barrel is there. It's cheap. I use a lot of paint, so it is what it is. So that's just what I use. And the opacity is actually really good. I don't usually have to go over anything twice, so I like that. And anything that I'm doing farmhouse or distressed, which I am going, this is going to be distressed looking, I don't worry about the coverage being there as much as I would if I weren't going to distress something. So these paints work perfectly for what I need them to do. And we're just going to do the exact same thing that we did for the snow sign. We're going to outline and then fill them in. Again, I don't love the way the hello turned out, but in the end, I'm happy with the finished product. So you're just going to see me hand lettering. Not my favorite thing to do, again, but until my husband comes through with a Cricut, this is what I have to work with. And this is what it should look like when you have it all hand lettered. And I think I skipped a part of the video. The footage got lost. I'm not sure what happened to it. But we are going to take a piece of Dollar Tree nautical rope and attach it to the top hanger. You may have to go through with a pencil like I did, but it will go through. You'll be able to get it on there. Everything will be fine. Now we're going to go ahead and take some beads. These are just some Dollar Tree beads that I painted a cream color, and I'm going to take my hot glue and I'm going to attach them in a snowflake pattern at the top of my sign. You don't have to do this part. I thought it added a little something extra. I do end up going over the cream color or the natural color with a white color to make it all more uniform. In the end, I wish I had left it the cream color because I actually like that a little bit better. So you do what works best for you here. If you want to add this, this is what it looks like. If you want to skip this step, definitely go ahead and do that. And this is what it looks like when you're done. You're going to see I'm taking the white paint and covering it up. Again, I wish I hadn't done this because it kind of blends into the back. So I had to add a little bit of distressing, a little bit of black paint to make it come through a little bit more. Do what you want to do in the end. This is what mine looks like at this point. Then I'm just going to take my sanding block again from the Dollar Tree and just go over it, rough it up, give it a little bit of distressing. And that's it. That is our Hello Winter tag. Next up, we have a super cute winter barn. I made one of these for Christmas, but I actually think I like this better. It can stay up all year long. It fits in perfectly for the winter decor, but it is an all year round type thing. Everything that we need for this project, you can see on the screen. I also have everything listed in the description box. We're just going to use some craft sticks from the Dollar Tree, some foam board, some greenery, and some paint. And this little plank, the little rectangular plank that comes in a pack of 6 from the Dollar Tree. And some hot glue, of course, because what project? This is the one I made for Christmas. I absolutely love it so much that I wanted to do one for winter. And I'm just taking my foam board and cutting out a basic house/barn shape. Very simply, and I'm using 3 different size Dollar Tree craft sticks. I'm going to take the medium size and cut it in half, cut the rounded ends off. You don't have to do that. I'm going to run a hot glue bead along the top of the rectangle and then attach the triangle to the top. And it's not going to hold really great, which is fine. That's why we're going to take that little piece of craft stick and keep that attached to the top to, I don't know what I'm trying to say. You see what I'm trying to do here. We're going to make sure that the top of the roof and the house stay together, or the roof of the barn and the barn stay together. Just like so. And there we go. Now, we are going to take the medium-sized craft sticks and we are going to cut both rounded ends off, as you see me doing here. And we are basically just making barn wood. And we are just going to take that and attach it. You're going to have to cut some pieces, and that's fine. And just fill it in all the way across. You'll see me doing a little bit of it here. This is not hard. It doesn't require very much skill at all, but I really love the way that it turned out. I'm glad that I used the popsicle sticks or the craft sticks to do this. And that's what it looks like when you're done. Now you're just going to take the smaller craft sticks from the Dollar Tree and cut the rounded ends off and do the exact same thing at the top. Don't worry about the overlap. We're going to frame out the roof and it's going to cover that up. So we're just going to stagger them all the way up the top, all the way up on the roof. I promise you it's going to look so much better than it does at the moment because, again, we're going to frame this out. And you should end up with something like this. Now we're going to take those medium craft sticks again, and we're going to just attach them like so to the roof to kind of frame that out. Then we're going to take another medium. I think this was actually the largest craft stick. And attach that at the top. Don't worry about that overhang. We're going to cut all that off. We're going to take the medium craft stick again, and we're going to form the down sides of the roof. I'm not exactly sure what it's called, but you'll see what I'm doing here. We're just going to hot glue those on. Any overhang, do not worry about it. These are little craft sticks. They're easy enough to cut. Once they're on there, just be careful. I cut my finger. I don't know if I'm going to show that. I don't know if it's in this video, but I happen trying to cut the top off here. Just because my finger was in the way. But it's very easy to cut off just like that. Once we have everything framed out and all the craft sticks attached, we're just going to take some white paint. Again, I'm using Snow White from Apple Barrel and a little bit of water. We're going to whitewash it, but a thick whitewash, a very opaque whitewash. So I didn't add a whole lot of water. And then we're just going to take that and cover the entire barn, including the loft part. We're not going to cover the framing, just the barn and the loft. And this is what you get. You can kind of see it coming together at this point. I love this. I think it's such a cute little craft and it's so easy. And you can leave it out all the time if you want. We're just going to take that Apple Barrel Jet Black and we are going to use that to, no water added, just we're going to cover the framing and the rectangular plank that it's going to sit on. Make sure you get all the sides. Now we're going to make a barn door. I think this is what makes it come together, makes it a little bit more over the top. I don't know. We're going to take those medium-sized craft sticks and we're going to decide what size we want them to be and cut them down. We are using 5 of them together, and then we're just going to take the small craft sticks and frame it out. So we're going to measure that, cut those small craft sticks, and just use those to frame out the door. And then we're going to add a little X in the middle, and you'll see me do that in a minute. I'm going to be quiet and let you guys watch. And that's our little door. How cute is he? And we're going to go ahead and take that jet black apple barrel paint again, and we are going to paint our door. We don't have to worry about the back, just the entire front. Then we're going to take our hot glue, add a good bit of that, and put it at the bottom. Look how cute. This is totally coming together now. I just love this craft. It's so easy. It's so cute. And it looks kind of high end. I'm not going to lie. The wood helps it. The craft sticks help it. Now we're just going to take a little push pin. I have a decorative one that just has a little black ball at the end that I got at, I believe, the Dollar Tree. And we're going to kind of push that into the wood, not go all the way through because you don't want it to split. Put a little bead of hot glue there and then push it back down into the wood. We're going to use that as a hanger to put our little welcome sign on. And then we're going to take some eucalyptus. I tried so many different ways to do this. I ended up just hot gluing it directly onto the craft sticks. This was a pain. The eucalyptus did not want to bend. You can use any greenery you like to do this. If you're going to use the eucalyptus, just be forewarned, it's going to be a pain and you're going to have to take a little bit of time, but it does look pretty, so I'm not upset with the choice. It's just, it took a little while to get it to where I want. And then I end up filling in with a little pieces that you see me just cutting off, and it ends up looking great. It just took a little bit of time. Now I'm just going to take one of those medium craft sticks, paint it white, and then I'm just using a pencil and some of that jet black paint and writing welcome. This doesn't turn out the greatest, but that's okay. It looks adorable. And you just see me fitting it for size. We're going to go ahead and take some hot glue and take that rectangular base and put a bead of hot glue across the bottom of the barn and set it directly down toward the front of that plank. And then we're going to take some tumbling tower blocks and use it as a brace on the back to hold the barn upright. We're going to take a little bit of jute twine, again from the Dollar Tree, and we're just going to attach a little bead of hot glue and attach one piece to each side. Use that as our hanger, and this is what you come up with. I love it. It was my favorite of the 3. And that's it, guys. I hope you love these crafts. If you did, definitely give me a big thumbs up. If you're not subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe. I'd love to have you. Let me know what your favorite winter crafts are. And until next time, guys, bye-bye.